All right. Well, welcome back. And I'm going to talk about the difference between producing sperm and eggs with meiosis. So hopefully you've already watched the meiosis video that's posted. If you have not, I would go ahead and stop, go back and watch the meiosis video, and then come back and watch this one. So what I just want to show you is the difference between producing sperm, what we can see here, versus how we produce an egg. So what you can see here is pretty much what you've probably seen as far as how meiosis goes. You start with a parent cell that is diploid. We've got copies of all of our chromosomes, 2 of each, and then we undergo interphase, which copies all of the genetic information so that we can divide it out. The cell undergoes meiosis 1, divide everything in half so that we get 2 cells with equal amounts of DNA. And then we undergo meiosis 2, do that division one more time so that now we've got 4 haploid cells. So that if you look compared to our parent cell, up here we had 4 chromosomes, down here we just have 2. So we've got that haploid, meaning just 1 copy of each chromosome in our final cells. Then to make the sperm, there's just some maturing to do to convert those cells into sperm with their flagella. So you can see we go from the 1 parent cell through the meiotic divisions down to 4 sperm. Now when we go to make an egg or an ovum, the process is a little different. We're still going to use meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, but you can see here that the division happens a little differently. So we start off with the 1 diploid cell. It undergoes interphase, so we copy the DNA. Then we take that cell, take it through meiosis 1, we divide the genetic information. But if you look over here, at the end of meiosis 1, we have what we call a polar body. And that polar body is going to basically get destroyed. This is just going to be a little bit of packet of genetic information. There's not going to be really any cell material here. We want all that cell material to go to the other half. Remember that the egg is much, much bigger than the sperm because it's going to have all the cell parts in it. And so we're going to send all of those cell parts over here, just package up the genetic information here, and send it off to be recycled. This guy right here is going to go ahead and go through meiosis 2. Same thing, we're going to divide up this genetic information, make that into 2 diploid cells. But again, only one of these is going to actually go forward and actually be matured into an egg or an ovum. The other half is going to be another polar body. Again, very small packet just containing genetic information. That is going to get destroyed, and then the other half is going to be developed into an ovum. So in the end, the big difference between meiosis in sperm versus meiosis in making eggs or ova is that you do the same division, so the process is the same, but at the end of meiosis for making sperm, you end up with 4 cells, and at the end of meiosis in making eggs, you end up with just 1. So very different as far as the end product. The cells are still going to be the same as far as they are genetically different from each other. They're genetically different from the parent cell. They're haploid, but you end up with 4 for the sperm and just 1 for the egg. All right, and that's it as far as the difference between meiosis for sperm versus egg.